Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Look Finance SEQFC review show with thanks to our friends at Vilic Law Compensation Lawyers. I'm Darren Ludden, one of the admins at SEQFC. Thank you for tuning in. I've got two guests with me tonight. Tony Georkas, you all know Tony. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Very well, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, Tony. It was good to see you in the flesh for the first time this season yesterday out at Sir Walter Park.
Yes, it's good afternoon out there yesterday, actually, apart from the second game result.
Yeah. Did you eat all the pies yesterday, Tony? Because by the time I got to the canteen, they were out of hot food.
They had no chips there at 3 o'clock, mate. That's why I enjoyed going to Olympic to have something to eat. There's always plenty there, and it's quality.
Good stuff. All right. Thanks for your company tonight, Tony. Now, we've got a newbie with us tonight. She's been threatening to be with us for many weeks now. It's Fatima Yassine. Am I saying that right?
It's actually my middle name. It's Fatima Flores is my last name.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I told you beforehand, but it's okay. All good. Just say Fatty.
Thank you for being with us tonight, Fatima. And you're at Newcastle last week for the Matildas game.
I was. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's been a while, but I'm glad I'm here. Yes, Newcastle was amazing. Apologies for my voice tonight. It might go in and out, because I spent 90 minutes of it cheering in the rain with a megaphone and just loving it. So it was unreal to see the girls.
And you're no stranger to cheering either, aren't you? You're a big part of the Raw Corps.
I am, big part of that family. Love the little family group we got going there, and it's growing each year, which is exciting. So shout out Raw Corps, and also come join us next season. It's heaps of fun.
Very quickly, what was your take on the Raw Women's this season? How do you think they went?
The Raw Women's. I thought, it was probably a fair result in the end. We weren't consistent enough to make finals, which was unfortunate because we had quality players in the team. But with injuries and with most of them being Matildas, it was, I guess, difficult with our depth. So it was a little bit of a depth issue in the squad. But regardless, we thought they fought extremely hard. And next season, though, we have to make finals. No ifs. So yeah, happy though in a little way, but upset we were not there on the weekend to try and beat Melbourne or one of the Sydney teams.
Nice. All right. Without any further ado, let's get into the results from the weekend. We've got 11 competitions to run through. We cover everything here at the review show. So let's start with the NPL. Tony, I'm going to bring you in for some comments on this one. So having a look at the Guerrilla Sports scoreboard, it was Brisbane City 2, Eastern Suburbs 4, Gold Coast United 2, Crusaders 1, Gold Coast Knights 3, Peninsula Power 0, Lions FC 4, Capalaba 0, Brisbane Raw Youth and the Strikers had a 1-1 draw, Sunshine Coast Wanderers 2, Redlands United 6, and Wootton Bay United 0, Olympic FC 4. Tony, what sticks out to you like a sore thumb there?
A surprising result for me is the Raw Youth and the Strikers game.
Why do you say that?
I thought the Strikers would have won that game. But obviously, they keep on using this youth program, youth development. You can't go using that excuse forever.
All right. The Raw Youth have had some good results so far. This will probably be their first drop points of the season, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
But still, the Strikers, they've got the decent side.
Yeah.
On
okay.
paper.
The one for me is that Redlands result, 6-2 over the Sunny Coast Wanderers. The Sunny Coast Wanderers still haven't been able to secure any points this season. And Redlands, they get their first points with 6 goals. That's pretty impressive from them.
Well, we mentioned that a couple of weeks back, that the gap between NPL and NPL 1 and Football Queensland 1, whatever it is, that drop. Obviously, there's a huge drop in standard.
Anyway, good that congratulations to Graham Ross and everyone out at Redlands getting that first win on the board. All right, Fatima, let's get to you now with the NPLW. We'll run through those results. Yeah. Mitchelton 1, Logan Lightning 3, Lions 2, Capalaba 1, QAS 1, The Gap 3, Gold Coast United 4, South United 1, and Moreton Bay United 0, Eastern Suburbs 11. What sticks out for you there?
Well, look, apart from the obvious 11-0 scoreline, I think the Lions-Capalaba game was quite a close one there. I wish I could have actually seen that because there's quality players on both teams there. But I was just watching the highlights and some good typical finishing from Lions and from Capalaba with Billy Murphy, who signed from South United, scoring that long range goal which was really good there. But I actually probably expected Lions to get a bigger scoreline though. But you know, good on Capalaba. They look like they'll be up there, I think, based on the couple of results early this season. So that was good to see. And then I guess the Gap, my old club, so I'm going to give him a shout out. The Gap versus QAS there, quite a new team, the Gap squad, really. I know they've lost quite a few of the veteran players, Ruth Blackburn being a major one, but they've now had a couple of good results after last week's epic against Lions. Yeah, I reckon they'll be kind of that underdog. They'll get up in the finals again, and they'll be good for the club.
Gold Coast United making their statement with the 4-1 win over South United. That was they're a club that we'll be keeping an eye on over the next few weeks. If they can string a few together. Yeah,
well, I saw East versus Gold Coast the first match, and they were quite strong. I hadn't seen Gold Coast United previously, and watching them take on East, it was a quality game. They organised. I really like the goalkeeper there. I believe she moved from Lions. So yeah, I think it's good that we've got a couple more teams outside of the typical Gap Lions, favourites. So yeah, good on them.
For sure. All right, let's move on now to the FQPL. Holland Park Hawks 2, South United 3. Big win there for South. Southwest Queensland Thunder 5, Western Pride 0. Where's Liam on the show tonight? That's why he's not here. That result is why he's not on the show tonight. Mitchelton 1, Southside Eagles 1, Ipswich Knights 6. Big win there, 6-1 over Wolves, and Sunshine Coast Fire and Rochdale Rovers a 2-2 draw. Now there's a surprise there with the Fire. Tony, what are you pulling out of that one?
Southside Eagles are the surprise packet for me. They keep on getting results.
They do.
But they're getting results. I think they've been Wolves first up. Draw with Mitchie, so they're not going to do too. Yeah, I think Mitchelton have got Carter Glock in the back.
Yes, they have. Yeah, good signing for Mitchie. For me, it was the Ipswich Knights 6, Wolves 1. Matt Chandler, he normally puts a really good side together, and I was just having a chat to one of the Knights players afterwards, and he reckons that they'll come good. It'll take them a little bit of time, but they will come good. So watch for them in the second half of the season. All right, let's move on.
You never want to go to Ipswich in July, August, mate. No matter what time of the day or on when. One of the trips that I used to always hate, going to Ipswich in July.
Yeah. It's a horror show.
Let's move on, Tony. All right, the Football Brisbane competition's kicked off on the weekend. Yay! All right, so Tweedle Rovers 0, Acacia Ridge 6. Big result. Albany Creek 3, St George Willawong 3, Toowong 2, Centenary Stormers 2, North Star and Caboolture also drew 1-1. Bayside United 1, Grange Thistle 6, big result there, and the Gap and Brisbane Knights had a 1-1 draw. Tony, what are you taking out of that one?
I listened to Steve Glockner speak on during the week, and he said he was very worried about playing St. George early in the season. Also, North Star Caboolture 1-1.
That's right.
So that's a surprising result too. I thought Caboolture have lost a lot of players, but
okay. So you think that's a good result for Caboolture?
Well, St. George apparently, I've never seen them play. I don't even know where they are, to be honest with you. Where do they play at?
They play out of Willawong. That's why they're called St. George Willawong, Tony.
Where's
That's
Willawong?
probably why I haven't been out there, mate. I need a passport.
It's near Durack.
Okay. Well, obviously I would say this new teams in that comp that I've just got promoted will be the first 5 or 6 weeks. They'll be up for it, and then see what happens after that.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's a good result for them against Albany Creek.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Certainly give them credit there. All right, let's go to the BWPL. Fatima, UQFC 1, Annalee 0, Grange Thistle 0, Peninsula Power 2, Virginia United 4, AC Carina 1, Broadbeach 1, the Lakes 5, and Ipswich City 5, Robina City 2. So the big results there, the Lakes and Ipswich City, probably two of the favourites for the competition this year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I have been following their performances over the last season especially, and it seems that they'll be back up there and pretty difficult to get the points off both of those sides. But I think Penn Power's 2-0 win, I'm pretty sure that was pretty expected. They're quite a strong side with some ton of Premier League, or back in the day Premier League players in their side there. And I actually thought the UQ Annalee match, I would have expected Annalee probably to get some points out of that, to be honest. But, they were away from home, so 1 against is not too bad, I guess.
UQ a job, the team that always seems to get it done as well.
Yeah, quite strong outfit. So, that comp looks quite exciting. Like no major blowouts yet. So they'll be interesting to see how that progresses.
Excellent. All right, let's move on to Cap 1. Brisbane Athletic 2, Mount Gravatt Hawks 4, Ipswich City 0, UQFC 1, New Farm United 0, Sanford Rangers 5, Annalee and the Lakes had a 1-1 draw, North Pine 2, Western Spirit 0, AC Carina 2, Virginia United 2. Anything there stick out for you, Tony?
Sanford results, comfortable 5-0.
Yes, and I will
but
be
he's
talking
got a
to
very good side there. He's got a very good side, Terry, up there. So they've had a good start.
Yeah, and Mount Gravatt forward too.
What was that one? I missed it. Mount Gravatt?
Mount Gravatt Hawks, yes. 4-2 on the Friday night over Brisbane Athletic.
Well, I haven't seen too much of Mount Gravatt, but yeah, obviously Sanford would have to be favourites on what they on paper.
Okay. All right. Moving on to Cap 2. Pine Hills and Westside had a 1-1 draw. Oxley United 0, Logan Metro 2. Newmarket and Moggle had a 0-0 draw. North Brisbane 1, Ripley Valley 3, Barden Latrobe 0, Slacks Creek 1, and Kangaroo Point Rovers 2, Clairvaux 2. Tony, we've got to talk about that Pine Hills West as well, haven't we?
I know that Leo didn't even get in the dressing room because he would have ripped the paint off the walls. He tore strips of them before they got in the dressing rooms. Because that was one I was certain that we're very confident in winning and winning comfortably.
Right. Okay, let's quickly move on to Cap 3. So Logan Village 5, Parkridge 3, North Lakes Mustangs 2, Narangba Eagles 5, Brighton Bulldogs 2, Springfield United 4, Tarragindi Tigers 2, Bethania Rams 3, Teviot Downs 1, Willowburn, the team from Toowoomba 4, Redcliffe PCYC 1, and Jimboobie United 3. Big result there. Woburn, first game in the competition back in football Brisbane banner, and they start with a win. All right. Thanks for input there, Tony.
I've lost you. I didn't hear what you said. I lost you there.
Fair enough. All right, Fatima, let's move to the Women's Cap 1. Brisbane City 1, Pine Hill 7, Toowong 5, Kangaroo Point Rovers 1, Ipswich Knights 0, North Brisbane 5, Olympic and Taringa Rovers had a 1-1 draw, Southside Eagles and North Star had a 3-3 draw, and Albany Creek and Caboolture was postponed. Fatima, we've got a couple of new teams in there. We've got Brisbane City, and Olympic are back as well.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to see those clubs back, and it looks quite strong actually. Seeing Brisbane City finally have a women's team involved, and I mean they did get pumped, but I know it's a fairly new squad there, so it's good. Yeah, I think good for football in Brisbane for one of the big clubs to have their women's side in there. The Toowong Kangaroo Point Rovers. So I know a lot of the Kangaroo Point Rover girls played for East before, so I was quite surprised that the 5-1 loss there. But I mean, you probably would know better than I do. Toowong have seemed to be quite strong in this competition in the past, or and maybe that was what was a bit more expected. But Olympic 1-1 there. I actually think Olympic won't be long before they've moved up into the other leagues soon. In my opinion, it'll be good to have them back up in the NPL kind of leagues. And what was the other new team? Did you say?
Where are they?
Southside, are they new? Sorry, Southside, if you...
No. So it was Brisbane City and Olympic, and you've already run through those.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but it did, and I think the Albany Creek match, was that rained out? Was that on a...
I don't know the circumstances there.
Righto. But yeah, no, it looks pretty good. I definitely want to see a Brisbane City women's v Olympic women's. I want to see what if that kind of derby lives up to the men's side of things. So it'd be cool to get out there and catch some more games.
Yeah, it could be pretty tasty. All right, so
do you think that Olympic will ever go back and PL?
Oh, well, I think they should. But anyway, that's another chat, Tony.
Very well handled.
All right. So we've got 2 competitions left on the Guerrilla Sports scoreboard. We'll just quickly run through those results now. On the Sunshine Coast, Coolum 0, Gympie United 4, Kawana 1, Butterham 2, Maroochydore 2, Biwa Glasshouse 4, Woombye 0, Mandra 4. In the Gold Coast Premier League, Nerang 0, Coomera 4, Palm Beach 1, Broadbeach 0, Burleigh Heads and Southport had a 5-5 draw, and Robina City 0, Surfers Paradise Apollo 10. There we go. So from my very limited knowledge of those competitions, BGs are a team that we expect to do quite well. Caloundra, another team that we think should do quite well. It looks like Noosa might have had the bye in that competition. And in Gold Coast, Burleigh Heads are the remaining premiers, and they had a 5-5 draw with Southport. So Gold Coast Premier League normally put up some highlights, so it might be worth checking out their Facebook page and seeing if there's anything there. So there you go. That's the Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, and Brisbane competitions off to a start for the year. Great to see everyone's all up and running now, guys.
It's exciting. Love the football. So good to have it back.
Yeah. And plenty of canteens for you to clean out there, Tony.
What was that?
Forget it. I didn't say anything. All right, guys. Now, just before we go, I just want to mention that this is our final week of the Look Finance Grant, with thanks to Village Law Compensation Lawyers. We've had a few entries in now, so a few submissions. If you've got anyone that's just outside the game that showed up, couldn't quite, balked at paying the registration fees, showed up without boots, rides a bicycle 20 kilometres to go to training, have a look at the page and put through a submission, and you never know. It's all there designed to keep people in the game. So if Look Finance and Village Law can help finalise your teams, get some talented kids in the game that would otherwise be left out, then let's get on it. The last week before submissions close. All right, that might be the show for this week. Fatima, Tony, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Well,
just keep getting out there and enjoying some football.
And I also want to just say it is Female Football Week, so get out there and support the women's sides at your club, even if it's from the young girls to the top teams. It's really important we go out there and show our support for the game that we love. So good luck to all the teams this weekend. And also go the Matildas. They play Wednesday night. They win that, they're off to Tokyo to the Olympics. So don't forget to tune into that on Wednesday night.
Yes, coronavirus pending.
Yeah.
They're already there, aren't they? Didn't they win 5-0 on the weekend?
Yeah, but that's just 2 legs, Tony.
Yeah, they have beat 6, mate. Come on.
Still not done, Tony.
Fatima, just book your tickets to Tokyo. Just book your tickets. You're on your way. Just go.
You buy it for me and I'll be there.
All right. As long as this coronavirus goes away, see what happens.
Done.
Very true. All right, you two, thank you so much for your company this evening. And it's been an enjoyable show, and it's great to have all the competitions up and running. So that's it for now. We do have a few Female Football Week little specials coming up during the week. So look out for those on the Facebook page. And thank you again tonight. See you later.
Bye.